Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. And interestingly, today is 8/8 and 2024. If we combine, it's the number 8. So it's a 888 portal. I see online there's a lot of excitement related to it. I have no idea what it does. In fact, just before the session, I recognized that one of my sweet friends shared an audio, like a video, about it. So I have not completed it yet, but something related to sun being in alignment with Sirius, and then there is the masculine and the feminine, hi-fi stuff. Simple words, more opportunity for us to be in alignment, more opportunity for us to be, let's say, to release and kind of bring in better balance. That's it. So I have not much information in case anyone is thinking and expecting from me. Sorry to disappoint you. Let's begin with a small invocation to the great Supreme Being, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my beloved spiritual teacher, to all the beloved spiritual teachers, to all the great, great ones, holy gurus, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual hierarchy, spiritual sun, central sun, physical sun, the hierarchy of angels, solar angel, our guardian angels, the angel assigned to the Triangles Blessing team, beings taking care of today's session, every archangel meditation session, all the invisible helpers, the beings of resources, technology, connectivity, the beings of light, love, power, the beings of light present in our rooms, and all the other nature beings. We're very grateful for your presence, for your blessings, for your contribution at all levels. Deep gratitude, deep, deep respect, and lots of love. We thank you all. We thank ourselves. We thank everyone in full faith. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, yes, Lion Gate portals and aligns with Sirius. So, Sirius is going to be more famous today. If I imagine some lion portal opening, feel like more lions coming out. I have not much information related to Orion constellation. So yeah, you guys can explore by yourself if you have a need to. Okay, so for today, yesterday I thought I'll have certain things to speak on, and then today it just went away. So I'm not feeling that inspired or motivated enough to talk on that topic today. So can you explain important and rituals about it? If you are saying about this 888 portal, I have no information. But yeah, if the question is the importance of the rituals, that is a different topic. Are you interested in rituals? Or let it be something else? You guys decide. Yes, of course. I think to make life very easy, it's very interesting to just understand that whatever exists is serving a purpose. And if something exists, it has a certain influence. So everything that exists has certain kind of influence. And that is what all is kind of studied and compiled in a ritual. So let's say the ritual is a technique based on, there are different rituals based on the studies and the exploration of the people who are really interested in understanding that this time, this planet, this material, so everyone has Everything used in a particular ritual has a certain significance, meaning, some kind of influence. And then the ones who have done their research, they kind of compile it and give it to others so that if you follow this, there are chances that you will get this kind of result, because that's how the energies of those components in that order, that is how a ritual is. Now, is ritual really important? Yes and no. Both. So I think the best way and an interesting way to explain it is not just the ritual, but when we are too focused with the directions and the feng shui and vastu, and we get paranoid, right? These days, it's very hard to get a house. We get apartments, and then we just get so stuck with this direction, and there's the center part is of the vastu sthan, and there is a toilet. And this we struggle a lot. And the same way, the person who is not aware of it, for them, let's say ignorance is a bliss. They just go, they get it, and everything is just fine. So everything impacts, but the karma supersedes. So if you really are doing good, if you have, if you are, let's say, service oriented, where you are more contributing in uplifting of others, then even if you are there in a wrong vastu, wrong feng shui house, those angelic beings will make sure that they do not impact you. So let's say if I am doing a proper ritual, generally what kind of ritual you, me kind of people do is of a prayers of, Diwali. So we are doing something because we want Lakshmi ji more money. We have very materialistic needs, selfish needs. And for that, we just come up with whatever it is and when we do it. And let's say there is a child in the home who is just watching us, no understanding, and kind of try to mimic and do whatever. If ever you check the energy, probably the pure energy of what the child is doing would be much more than what you are doing with all the right ingredients. Why? Because the intention is there should not be any mistake, there should be the right step. Where is the heart? So even if you're not aware of much, but if your heart and intention is right, and then when you just let go of your ego of, I know everything and this is the technique, and then when you just allow, so even if you have to pray, invoke a certain deity, if you just be there with that being in your consciousness and ask that being, what is that you would want me to do so that you become happy? You will know what to do, much powerful than any mechanically done ritual. I'm not saying they don't have their own powers, but who is doing it, how is doing it, with what kind of thoughts you're doing it. We take care of the physical aspects, flowers, rice, this and that. We forget the basic aspect, that's heart, our emotions, our mind. I am doing this because I really want to prove, I want to succeed. My neighbor has got BMW. I want a Ferrari. Only the intention is that I have to prove somebody wrong, make somebody go less. So there's a beautiful thing 2, 3 days ago, it just came to me. The word came is hug. We hug. And then what came to me in that moment is like when I say I'm hugging you, in the process of hugging, who is hugging whom? Let's say maybe I'm the one taking an initiative. I'm coming to you and I'm just hugging. But in that process of hugging, who is hugging whom? Let's say I am there. I am, let's say, taking a first step. I'm holding your hand. Now, who is holding whose hand? Is the right hand, maybe right hand approached. But in the process, how can you tell who is holding who? That's how the life goes. It's always a give and take whenever we do. It's always receiving, giving. It's always some kind of, but then we just stuck with our kind of story. I am doing it. Are you are doing, then you're receiving also. So when even it is like the ritual, who is doing who to whom? So the more you connect, it makes the entire story very different. In fact, when I understood, I mean, this just came up and then it made more sense to me when in one of the sessions of Master Chua in the prosperity class, he just asked somebody to be on the stage and asked everyone else to check the prosperity energy in his wallet. And then he says that take out a note and just put it aside, or, thinking that I will give it to somebody. And the person did the same. And then Master says that, okay, scan the prosperity energy of the wallet. It was more. So let's say 100 rupee or a 2000 rupee or a 5000 rupee was less from the wallet, but the prosperity energy of the wallet was more. And then he says, okay, just say I changed my mind and put that note back. And when the person put it back, and then he says, check again, prosperity energy was less than before he intended to give. It was less because the greed probably came in, or whatever comes in, where I was trying to open my heart, but then something happened and I restricted. We do it a lot of times. No, we go to a restaurant and then we have to give a live, like a tip, and then suddenly the 100 rupees come out, and when we are putting, it's like, why it's too much, and then I give the 50 or I give the 20. So it is very interesting. So when I understood this hug, it's the same. So if I'm stealing from you, it is the same. I think I'm stealing from you. I'm stealing from myself. Like if you understand this concept of hug holding, it's the same way. The kind of connection we all have, same. It is the same pool, same reservoir. My account, your account, that is serving a different purpose. But if I'm trying to capture something that is rightfully yours to mine, I cannot prosper because my logical mind says I am different, but in fact, it's not. And that is in alignment with what we discussed last time. Whenever you are in trouble, be out there for other people. You helping others, your problems will automatically get resolved. And do not believe me, give it a try. And see it. Okay, let me see. Even if certain problems remain for a little longer time, but then you understand they have no power on you. Okay, this is beautiful. How hugging is with love, but don't know whether one is accepting or not. So, see, the business mind, I'm coming to hug you and I want you to hug me back with love. Doubt, right? Expectations. And not just expectations. I have doubt. I have no faith in the other person. I think now these days there are so many memes and all those things come up, no? It was very beautiful. Somebody says, I mean, something goes in this line that if you do something, like for this case, if I'm going to hug something, and then what if the other person do? Let that person do that own job, no? Why are you thinking on their behalf? Let them do and see. And I think I love that part. They were four females in some reels, and they were just saying, and then that every time when we say that char log kya kahenge in Hindi, we say it, what will those four people speak? And then we decide and change. So those four females were saying, we are those four people, and we are not going to say anything. Do what you want to do. And I just feel the same if somebody says, no, what if? I said, let the person, why are you doing that person's job of thinking and doing it? Let the person do. Because if I am already thinking, I'm actually stealing from the other person. I'm projecting my own identity, stealing the identity, projecting our own understanding, I am not letting the other person be. And whenever we are in a habit of thinking on the other person's behalf, judging them, you will notice you will definitely, like 100%, end up being in a situation where you think, oh, people misunderstand me. Oh, people judge me. I say something, but they understand something else. This is the root cause. Because I don't let the other person do their own job. I step in. This is again like a hugging or a holding hands. I'm doing this to this, and then something else is coming. So everything that I'm doing is coming back. We think if I have been really good with Anuradha is only going to be good to me. No. If I'm hugging her, maybe she is not interested, that's fine. But maybe then Sujata ji would be the one who would say, Kim, I love you, and she will hug me. And that's how the divine works. What you are doing is what defines you. But then let the other person decide how that person needs to be defined also, no? So there's a different modality that I practice, and being in that modality, one thing became so much clear and vivid to me is that any person in any point of time, if the person is doing something, there is a story behind it. So there is no person in the planet who is bad. If somebody is reacting or behaving in a different way, there goes some story behind because of which the person is the way the person is. The same goes with the ones who are really kind and good. There is a certain story behind. So let's say if there are two adults, one is very confident and one doubts everything. If you will go back, probably the one who was very confident is the one where the parents, or at least one of the parents, showed a lot of trust in that child. And the other adult who doubts for everything oneself, if you go back down, then probably you will get to know, oh, that person is the one where the parents, one or both, always used to say, you're not good enough, you do not know, and you don't do anything, you don't know anything. You always make mistakes. So those kind of things were so strongly there. That defines the difference. But if I meet the person who is confident and if I say you are better than this as a person, it's not right. The fact is, we are all at the same level. Our stories define our actions. And if only we can see that and be compassionate enough to give space for me, okay, I'm doing this emotion, this thought, whatever is coming, because there must be something behind. And then I give the same kind of privilege and space and understanding to the other person. Again, if I'm doing this to me, I'm doing that to other person the same way. And you will notice that it most of the times, if you just acknowledge the person as it is and stop making the effort of changing, a lot of things automatically changes. But we just get stuck with, so starting from ritual, where have we come? How to ignore when, if we know that other person is, oh, where is that message gone? It just disappeared. How to ignore when, if we know that other person is judging me or not behaving the right way. So if I am at the receiving end, I'll ask myself and be very aware, where am I judging others? They are reflecting, people are reflecting me. I am receiving what I have sown. So instead of focusing on this person need to change, I put the focus in, I need to change somewhere. If I am still, coming across people who judge me or not behave rightly to me, that means there is some kind of things that I do not know, I do not do right. According to me, it is good to be straightforward. It can be hurtful for somebody else, no? I want to be this way. I am. I just don't sugarcoat. And then you just quote other person. So if I'm the one, I would be checking, where am I hurting? And I can again guarantee you, based on my understanding of how life works, the more you will become conscious that I won't judge. It is not that the thoughts will not come, but then you will make a choice, a conscious choice, that I will not give fuel to this thought. I am nobody to judge. And probably if that thing is very much bothering, let's say if Hassan is there in my mind and I'm getting too much of judgmental thoughts about him, maybe in my consciousness, I will say, okay, Hassan, I'm sorry for judging you. I see you as a soul and I respect whatever choices you make. So probably if I'll do it in my consciousness, maybe that because I try to resist every time that thought persists. But then when I acknowledge, even in my own consciousness, it helps. So slowly and gradually, but when I choose to behave differently, the kind of things that comes to me also changes. So if somebody is not behaving right, I need to look back, who am I not treating well? And then I need to change. The problem is divine is very beautiful. He has given the eyes here. We are always focused on there. And we always want the other person to change. It is an easy thing to do. But it does not happen, no? Then we get into entanglement and worry and problems. So if ever I have to ask you to change, I'll ask myself, Kim, how easy it is for you to change? Wrong expectations. I cannot change anyone. I can change myself. And if I am different, you will respond in a different way, right? There is no way if I am speaking to you very loving and kindly, that even if you are coming with a lot of anger, you will continue to be in anger. No. But we want the other person because I have a higher ego. You have to. So I was going through that audio. One video was there, somebody was giving tips to a bully. And it was also the same. It's all the power game. And I feel it is not just the power game when it is a bully. That in fact is an honest person, not very manipulative. Upfront there, I'm bullying you. But all of us, we do what? We bully. We try to have an upper hand. And whenever we don't have an upper hand, then we start criticizing, cribbing, judging other person. And if somebody shows us the truth, there you are going wrong. Oh my God. Then we just go on digging deep, finding in all the dirt, filth that we can come up with of that person, just to define that how good I am. And even if I have, so there's a very beautiful, there's a wisdom course of Art of Living, Ashtavakita. So one of the chapters, or one of the chapters were on the mistakes. And it was very beautifully Gurudev mentioned there that mistakes are neither yours not mine. And then he says, just observe if ever you make mistakes. If you have made the mistake, how do you feel about it? You just kind of don't even cry much. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. It's like, generally, I'm talking about. But if somebody else has made a mistake, how do you react? We make sure that we point out. Not now, even 10 years later, if the fight is going on and if I'm losing the battle, that one mistake that the person did 10 years ago, I'll use it again. So then, according to Saint Ashtavak, he says, mistakes are neither yours, not mine. It just happened. So the moment you just say it happened, either for me or for you, then we move to it together for a resolution, what best we can do with the oops movement. So I love those words because of the kid. My daughter is in the elementary school. So they have books related to how to turn your oops movement into beautiful moments. So if something oops, so now the words are better. So instead of mistakes, oops. So if oops happened, it's neither your nor mine. Let's convert something beautiful in it. So when someone asks out of not able to take decision, I used to tell my opinion. Oh yeah, giving advice and opinion is also a very interesting subject. So there are certain guidelines what Saint Astava has given to Raja Chanak related to advice. It is like do not speak if it is not asked for. Like do not tell an answer or do not just go ahead giving advice if it is not being asked for. Do not reply if it is not asked at the right time, at a right place, and rightly. Sometimes people ask you questions to judge, to prove. In fact, my daughter sometimes she asked me some question, and then when I replied, she said, "Okay." So I said, "Now you got your answer." I already knew. I was just checking whether you know it or not. And a lot of time we do the same. People just ask just to check for no reason. So do not answer, like do not need to enter and come up with your advice till it is asked for. Also, do not go ahead if it is not asked in a proper way, if it is not asked at the proper time, at a proper place. Yeah. So if these things are not shared, just smile, move away. How to change or ignore the person when we know that a family person is wantedly not respecting, not valuing our words, being completely irresponsible. Yeah, so see, there is a trigger, no? Somebody is not respecting, not valuing our words. Are you all valuing my words that I say? Hands on your heart. All the words. Hey, come on. Not possible. Not possible. Not possible for me to follow every time what I say. How can you follow everything what I say to you? Yeah. So see, there is a need of respect. There is a need to feel valued. So instead of criticizing somebody that you do not value, your words are like that. How about just you talk to that person at times, if it is a family member, instead of criticizing and just say, I have a need to feel valued. Do you think the thing would be different? So there is again another, probably I'll come up sometime with, I'll talk to the triangles team and we'll come up with a session. There's a language of compassion. So the language of compassion is one where we talk about the needs. So the one who came up with this mentioned that most of the time we fight because of the strategies. So let's say if I'm a wife and my husband is outside and he has very long hours and I am just fighting, you don't come home on time and you don't love us and blah, 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 blah. But if I just convey, I have a need of connection. And then I do not, and when I'll say I have a need of connection, is there anything you can do about it? And then let the husband choose. Okay, probably I'll make sure that maybe on the weekend or this time or that time, or we'll just spend every day 10 minutes or 15 minutes to start with. Like whenever we just convey our needs and we don't get stuck with strategies, it is a win-win situation for all the parties involved. Because the need is not that you come home on time. Probably I have a need to talk. And the talk need is actually not a need. The need is of the connection. I miss the connection that's not there. So when we actually, so if ever there is a criticism coming in, ask yourself, what is my need? What is that I need? And once you know your need, convey to the person that this is my need and allow the person to strategize the way that suits him or her. We'll do a session, I think, on this for sure. So thank you for this question. Not professional. At professional place, be silent is easy. That depends. Sometimes being silent, we are bottling up. So probably knowing our needs helps with the right words. We do not know why we are angry. So something is that my system requires, which is not getting fulfilled. That's why I'm feeling that way. But because we do not know, whosoever comes in front, because eyes are here, we shoot the gun there. You are responsible for me making feel like that. Your emotions, like how can the person enter in your emotions and jiggle and make you feel the way? Not possible. We'll do something about it. Anyways, thank you for all those beautiful questions because I did not know what to talk today. So, how to guide grown-up child if he is doing wrong things? Now, see again, uh, who decides what is right and wrong? And if something is beyond your, uh, how to say it, the manual of right, then again, if you can reach the need, what the person need. So let's say if somebody likes smoking, addict, there is a certain kind of void, a certain kind of need which nobody else is able to fulfill, but then this provides. So if you can know that, you'll be able to help. But if you judge, criticize, outcast, angry, you are just making more void in that person. It's not helping. It is like somebody is already drowning. You are putting stones, whatever you are getting, and you are throwing it on. So anyone, if somebody is doing something, if you want to know what is that, like what is this thing serving him or her? What is the need? It will help really big time. So sometimes a person is very angry because there is a need to be heard. And when a person is saying, I don't feel valued, maybe the person will feel valued if you let the person speak. So generally the needs are very simple, but we get stuck with strategies. How to find it out? Ask yourself, ask the person. Do not think on the person's behalf. Let the person come out with his or her own ideas and be open without your ego. So we create a space for the person to just share. But then don't switch. A lot of children says that my mother is a friend, my father is a friend. The moment they want to know something from me, the moment they know, they can they become back to parents. So if ever you are going to try what I have shared with you, please make sure whatever the person share, do not use it as a tool against. It will damage that person. It will damage you even more. Karma is very strongly there. So if you allow a person to speak, then be non-judgmental. If the person says, I hate you, respect and be grateful that the person is truthful in sharing that. Hate and love is two sides of the same coin. You cannot hate a person whom you don't love. But sometimes there is a need to express what is suppressed. Once you allow the person to be, there is a meltdown. Please take a session on manifestation. You know, this is one thing that I never do. I don't want to do it, and I don't suggest to do it. You know why? I have learned my lesson very hard way. When you work on manifestations, the divine knows you are working so hard. You have such a strong attachment to that particular thing. Then all the difficult lessons that you are not learning, the divine first manifest and then bring in all those lessons through that manifestation of yours. Ooh, it is better without it. I manifested my husband. I manifested the CEO post. I manifested. That post will make sure that the soul learns the lesson. Do not get stuck with it. I would say it's okay. Let me live my life as peacefully as possible. Okay, guys, let's meditate. But yeah, this is good. You guys have so many beautiful things. So sometimes if I'm not there, you just share something and something will flow. So very grateful for your receptivity and willingness. This is also, you see, you all are very good at holding space. If the space would not be held, and we are 193. So 192 people, when holding a space, something different flows. Just imagine. Holding space is where we just let aside our ego and we just let the other person be. So sometimes you don't even have to speak. A certain words is like, okay, I'm sorry. I crossed my boundaries. and then just be there. When you are selflessly there, your presence itself is very, very, very powerful and therapeutic. So you all are therapists. Let's meditate together. Thank you so much. Be aware of your heart, be aware of your crown. To the great supreme being, divine father, divine mother, to all the beloved teachers, the great great ones, the messiahs, the hierarchy, the spiritual beings, angelic beings, the beings of resources, technology, service, inspiration, the beings of light, love, power, the beings of light present in our rooms. We're very grateful for your presence, for your blessings, for your contribution at all levels. A deep gratitude, deep, deep respect, and lots of love. We thank you all, we thank ourselves, we thank everyone in full faith. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We talked a little extra, and there is a forgiveness session at 10. But I forgot to just say that I am excited. From Monday, we are starting finally our book study session. So, all those, I am very eager and excited to be there. And quickly, I just want to say, because somebody asked that, so will it be that we'll be just reading it from the author's point of view? Of course, we'll be reading the book, and it is not his point of view, that's the study and a lot of things. But I will also add my own things, my own understanding. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be great. I am very excited. So see you all on Monday, 12th of August. And yeah, battling dark forces. We'll battle together from the swords of love, light, wisdom, righteousness, truth, power, compassion, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much, everyone. See you on Monday, every day, and then see you on Thursday. Thank you. Bye-bye. Any question related to book, please contact